Right, serious now. The new guidance for trans rights has just dropped, and it's absolutely disgusting what they are doing. This is something that has not been laid down in law yet. It's not been put down on law yet, but it's something we really need to fight, and we really need to get together on this one. I think we need to get the banners together. We need to start going out in the streets, and we need to protest as heavy and hard as we ever did before. Please do not do nothing please do not do nothing out of the ordinary, or don't hurt yourselves or nothing. Please don't. Right, this isn't been put down in law yet. There's still time for this to be turned around, but it is disgusting. I'm going to press play at the moment, and we're going to hear what the Good Law Project are going to say about this, because they're going to explain a bit now.
The government has just published new guidance about trans inclusion in services and spaces. Here's what it means. I'm Jess Thompson, trans rights lead at Good Law Project. Today, the government published updated statutory guidance, the Code of Practice for Services, Public Functions and Associations. It's not in force yet, but it is very unlikely to change at this stage. The guidance tells organisations how they should approach trans inclusion. The guidance only applies to services and associations, not employers, but it is likely to be influential beyond this. The code is important and has to be considered by duty bearers, but it does not change the law. The updated code removes some of the most harmful parts of the previous draft. The bit about inspecting birth certificates to decide which toilet you can use is, thankfully, gone. And it now makes clear that you can have associations for multiple protected characteristics, for example, LGBT plus associations. This means you can have an organisation which is explicitly for people whose sex is female under the Act, in addition to trans people. It makes clear that offering only biological single-sex services is likely to indirectly discriminate against trans people, and alternatives have to be provided. But the guidance also harmfully treats trans people like a third sex, suggesting they should use third spaces, rather than saying that services should be provided on a trans-inclusive basis. Forcing trans people into third spaces stigmatises them, it outs them, and we think it violates their human rights.
Absolutely, 100.
We're continuing our legal work to defend trans rights. We've applied for permission to appeal a High Court decision from earlier this year that said it was okay to force trans people into third spaces, and described the risk of trans people being outed as workplace gossip. We say that's discrimination. We say it's not compatible with their human rights. Importantly, that case is also about workplaces, not just services and associations. So it actually has a wider impact than the code. We know people are worried about what this guidance will mean for their ability to simply live their lives. And that's really not surprising after a year of very concerted attacks on trans people, enabled and often encouraged by this current government. Our community is scared and exhausted, but we are fighting back. We know that trans rights are human rights. We are hoping that UK courts will recognise that. And we will keep fighting together, even if we have to go all the way to Strasbourg. The government has just published
100%, and that's it. We'll go all the way to the ECHR. Fuck what the EHRC is saying. We'll go all the way to the ECHR, and that will overturn the whole thing. If Europe wants to, if UK and England wants to get closer to Europe, they're going to have to abide by some of Europe's fucking human rights, and that includes trans rights. So let's have a look and see what .gov has to say about it. Organisations receive clear, accessible guidance on how to implement the equality law in updated draft code of practice. The government lays the Equality Human Rights Commission (EHRC) draft updated code of practice in Parliament. So let's read it and see what it says. Government lays the Equality of Human Rights Commission's (EHRC) draft updated code of practice in Parliament. The draft code provides guidance to make a law clearer for services to provide and others, protecting people's rights to rights across England and Scotland and Wales. The approach is practical and proportionate, ensuring everyone can access services safely, free from harassment, and with dignity. There's nothing about this Equalities Act which is beneficial to my dignity. It's not at all. No. And you know what? Before I even carry on reading, I don't give a shit what law is going to be implemented against me for whatever reason whatsoever. I ain't following no fucking laws whatsoever. and I don't give a shit whatever fucking what the police say. I will not 100% give a fuck what your law says. I will not. I will carry on using the toilet that I've always been using. I'll carry on going to the changing rooms, which I've always been using. I don't give a damn what you think. I will fucking carry on living my life the way I am, and not a single fucking law is gonna make me change my mind on that whatsoever. Fuck yous. Right, so let's carry on reading. Right, the Minister for Women's Equality, Bridget Phillipson, has laid the Equality and Human Rights Commission (EHRC) draft updated code of practices, services, public functions, and associations in Parliament. Following the Supreme Court judgment, Kangaroo Court, which said that for the purposes of the Equality Act 2010, sex means biological sex, and that trans people are still protected by the Act under the protected characteristics of gender reassignment. The EHRC draft code conduct on sex and gender reassignment has been updated. So how does this work then? I've updated my my gender recognition certificate. My birth certificate says female on it. So what's going to happen now? What are you going to do? How is this going to be enforced? There's no point making what they call it a toilet where men and women can go into. No, that doesn't work like that. I will not go into a men's toilet because I won't be safe. And say now you got trans men going, and this, you know what? Speaking of trans men, actually, they're not even talking about trans men. They're more focused on trans women. So a trans man is going to go into a woman's toilet because they're biologically women, apparently. So you know, how's this going to work? So say now if a cis man goes into into a woman's toilet, and then pretends he's a trans man. Explain. There's nothing stopping a man from going into a woman's toilet and doing what he's going to do, you know? Sex offenders do shit anyway. They don't give a damn. They don't have to be trans to do anything. All this hatred towards trans people is absolutely fucking disgusting. Be shamed on yourselves. Right, right, where was I? Right, organisations should continue to follow the law as clarified by the Supreme Court, taking specialist legal advice if needed. The draft code gives organisations clear workable guidance on which will enable them to take in pragmatic approach to protecting and serving the needs of our society. Following the EHRC's consultation with the range of services, the draft code supports providers in ensuring they can make practical and ultimately sensible decisions for everyday scenarios such as toilet provision. So basically, that what this bit is saying is that it's up to the service provider then if trans people can use the toilets that they want to. So say now a trans woman can use the women's toilet, so it's up to them if they want to do that. So it's up to the service provider. Okay, let's read on. Bridget Phillipson, MP, Minister for Women's and Equalities, said, who isn't going to be in a job for much longer, by the way, after the by-elections, the Equality Act ensures our rights in laws so that people can live free from discrimination and harassment. Tell me what part of this is not discriminant and harassment towards trans people. Explain how it's not. The silence is deafening. Right, the Equality Act ensures the rights and laws in the rights in law so that people can live free from discrimination and harassment. Our focus has always been making sure organisations have clear, accessible guidance on how to implement the law. I thank the EHRC, fuck them, for their work in updating the draft code of practice, which absolutely had no reason to be updated whatsoever. 4 women in Scotland absolutely have fucked up everyone's lives, that have absolutely fucked up everyone's lives. You know? What, you think trans people are going to be the only ones that are going to be affected by this? Yeah, let's look at some cis women who look trans who ain't. They're going to get it as well. Right? practice to look forward to continuing the work for, with them to ensure people's rights are upheld across the country. The government is proud of the Equality Act 2010, which, by the way, the people that writ the Equality Act in 2010 all stood up and said after that court ruling last year that they included trans people in that 2010 Equality Act, and that it wasn't just biological sex, it was included for trans people as well. Me being trans is biological, right? Let's get that one fucking straight, and we ain't a third sex. Let's get that one out of the way straight away as well. The government is proud of blah 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 that upheld it. The draft code is important supplement to ensure that organisations across Great Britain have clear and workable guidance on its implementation that to protect people's rights across our country. It covers all 9 protected characteristics in the Equality Act 2010. The EHRC, updated the code. The code reflected changes in the law since 2011, including a Supreme Court clarification in the definition of sex for purposes for the Equality Act 2010. Other changes include new protections for women whose menopause have significant impacts on their everyday life. Update to reflect legislative changes on same-sex marriage. Clarification for women who breastfeed are also protected from harassment. Obviously, a number of other changes were made as part of updating the 2011 Code of Practice across all protected characteristics, including highlighting protections for disabled people and advice on pregnancy and maternity discrimination, as well as age discrimination. Breaking down the barriers to opportunity is at the heart of this government's mission for national renewal by clearly setting out the law across all protected characteristics. The draft code will help organisations make sure that everyone has a fair shot of life. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that excluding trans people, discriminating trans people, and you know, let's just be real about it. It's called a kettle black here for a moment. It is pure fucking hatred towards trans people. You're discriminating a small group of people to satisfy another group of people. Do not put trans people and other people as separate. You're dividing us now. You're no different to the right wing. Labour, I'm absolutely fucking disgusted in you. I voted for you for change, and you're not giving us change. You're giving us what we should have got with the Conservatives had they have been voted in. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I'm going to leave it right there anyway. I don't care. Hit the like and subscribe. Leave your dirty little comments if you're going to leave them. You're going to be removed anyway. But yeah, no. My thoughts on this are absolutely clear. It's absolutely disgusting, and and you know what? Don't worry about it, everyone else. We're going to fight this. We're going to go out and protest again up and down the country. We're going to make United Kingdom are going to be looking like a small little group of people compared to what everyone's going to go out and do in the coming days and weeks, right? I'm going to be there as well. Banners are going to be flown, and we're going to beat this. We are going to beat this, right? We're going to beat it. Don't you worry at all. We are going to beat this eventually. We're just currently going up a shit little hill at the moment, and eventually we're going to overcome it, alright? Okay, I'll leave it there. I'm going to calm the fuck down for a bit. And yeah, thank you for watching. All right.